Let me tell you, I didn't think my Tuesday would start with the HOA president pounding on my door like the cops raiding a moonshine still. But that's exactly what happened. 7 a.m. sharp. I'm still half asleep, dreaming about Sarah's blueberry pancakes. And there's Margaret Whitmore standing on my porch with her pink clipboard, like she's holding the keys to the county jail. She didn't even bother with a "Good morning" just shouted across the yard for half the neighborhood to hear. "You are no longer welcome at this farm lake." Yeah, that happened. 5 years of peaceful living, minding my own fish business, and now apparently I'm public enemy number one for a pond I bought and paid for. So I shuffle outside, still in the jeans Sarah used to say made me look like a scarecrow, and Margaret, all smug and official, shoves some county survey at me. It clearly shows 40% of your precious little lake belongs to the community common area. She announces, waving that clipboard around like she's dealing blackjack at a Vegas casino. I take the document, and it's got all the seals and squiggles that make normal folks' eyes cross, but something's not right, especially the signature at the bottom. Carl Hendris, licensed surveyor 2 weeks ago. Never heard a peep about this before. Why now? She starts pacing my porch like a prosecuting attorney, accusing me of running my fish business on community property, racking up $6,000 in back fees plus a daily $500 fine unless I make it right. I'll admit I started to sweat until I remembered my own paperwork. 5 years, not a hiccup. All my property docs tucked in a battered blue folder in the truck. I show her my deed, my old survey, clear as day lakes, 100% mine. Margaret just snorts. That survey's outdated. Ours supersedes it. The way she said it, that little smirk got my hackles up. I take a closer look, and wouldn't you know it, the handwriting on her official survey looks an awful lot like the script she uses on her HOA mailers. Let me back up a sec. Carl Hendris was the go-to surveyor in these parts. Honest as the day is long, but he passed away 2 years ago. Yet here's his name and a fresh signature. You don't need a PhD to smell something rotten. I hand the document back and tell Margaret I'll verify this with the county. She doesn't like that at all. Face twitching, then she shifts tactics. Mr. Morrison. Like she had to check her clipboard to remember my name. I'm calling an emergency HOA meeting Thursday. I strongly suggest you attend if you want to avoid legal action. Her heels click down the porch like a ticking clock, and as she drives off, I'm standing there thinking, this is war. First thing I do is snap photos of all my legit documents, then dig into the official survey she left. The more I study it, the more I know Carl Hendris never signed this. Quick Google search, obituary, right there. Carl's been gone 2 years. Margaret just stepped into quicksand, and she's still acting like she's walking on water. Game on, Margaret, I say to nobody in particular, then sit down with my coffee ready to dig in. Couple days later, my mailbox is stuffed certified mail. Urgent red stamps, enough paperwork to start a bonfire. She's got notices for illegal lake access, photographic evidence, from somebody skulking in the bushes, a demand for $500 a day, and a retroactive bill for $2,000 in maintenance fees. She's even got a chart of acceptable activities. Fishing from shore is fine, but any boat, even my old rowboat, now requires a permit and more money than I'd pay for a used outboard. Oh, and I can only fish Tuesday and Thursday afternoons, 2 to 4 p.m., because apparently fish keep office hours now. Honestly, it'd be funny if it wasn't my business and my home at stake. But Margaret's not just fighting in the daylight. She's got a whole live stream routine going on Facebook, broadcasting from her community headquarters in the strip mall, surrounded by color-coded clipboards and enough props to make QVC jealous. Neighbors are watching, some rooting for her, others just rubbernecking. Her confidence is unreal. Pink clipboard for property violations, blue for commercial stuff, yellow for neighbor cooperation. I swear, watching her is like seeing a suburban dictator training for prime time. So I spend Thursday buried in the dusty archives at the county office digging up deeds and property transfers. Turns out Margaret's been running the same play on neighbor's Wilson Farm, sold for 40% below market after months of HOA pressure. Henderson Place, same deal. Always a dispute, always compliance issues, and always a mystery LLC swooping in with a cash offer. That LLC registered to a Jessica M. Whitmore, Margaret's daughter. Coincidence, please. I call Wilson, poor guy, 8 months of harassment over imaginary violations, threatened with liens, lost sleep, grandkids scared to visit. Then there's Henry, who owns the strip mall where Margaret's HOA headquarters sits. She hasn't paid rent in months, but still demands upgrades, new carpet, the works. I make Henry an offer cash, no games. He just about cries with relief. Deal's done in 2 hours, and Margaret's got 7 days to vacate. Now the office she's used to run her circus is about to be yanked right out from under her. Margaret finds out quick. Emergency HOA meeting, standing room only. She goes full trial attorney, accusing me of environmental terrorism and tax evasion, waving photos of my customers like mugshots. For a minute, I see the doubt creep in on faces that used to greet me at the feed store. But then halfway through, Sheriff Kane shows up. Calm, methodical, seen it all. He reviews her evidence, then asks for my paperwork. I hand him the real surveys, the real permits. Sheriff says, "These documents contradict, but Mr. Morrison's appear properly filed." Boom! The whole room murmurs. Margaret's face goes from white to red to something in between. That night she's on Facebook crying about outsiders with deep pockets, painting herself as a martyr. Her fan club cheers, but I know she's rattled. Next thing, I'm getting anonymous texts. "Stop now or you'll regret it." Photos taken through my windows, surveillance logs of my daily routines, even references to Sarah threatening stuff. Eddie, my buddy, and now my lawyer, crafts the perfect eviction notice. We serve Margaret with 7 days to vacate the office, everything legal, all above board. Her response, a marathon live stream accusing me of fake documents, fraud, whatever she can invent. But when she checks with the courthouse, the clerk confirms I own the building. The notice is legit. She's got to go. Her world starts to crumble. The neighborhood splits, some still loyal, most just exhausted. Margaret rallies her crew, but the cracks show. Little Sophie Chen, neighbor kid, accidentally catches Margaret losing it on a live stream, smashing her pink clipboard, ranting about conspiracies. The video goes viral. Margaret becomes a meme overnight. Friday. Margaret tries for a restraining order. The judge isn't having it, says her evidence is just printouts from her own Facebook, no actual threats. So she calls another meeting, swearing she'll expose my criminal conspiracy on Saturday, and this time she picks my property as her battleground, convinced she'll humiliate me once and for all. Only she doesn't know Sophie's already called the local news. Margaret rolls up with her army of SUVs, banners, the whole show. She starts broadcasting live, but this time Sheriff Kane, Eddie, and a news crew are there too. The moment she waves her forged documents, the sheriff steps up, asks for proof. Eddie and I lay out the real paperwork, including evidence Margaret photocopied signatures from pizza receipts and birthday cards to fake community agreements. On live TV with the whole town and hundreds of online viewers watching, Margaret's story unravels. She tries to spin it, claiming she only made minor adjustments for the good of the community, but nobody's buying it. Neighbors start connecting the dots, sharing stories of similar scams in other towns, all tied back to Margaret's family. The community votes her out, dissolves the old HOA, elects new leadership with transparency and real rules. I even set up a fund with some of the money Margaret had to pay back, refunding neighbors she'd scammed. Sophie, the little girl who caught Margaret's meltdown, gets a college fund in her name. The lake is ours again, a place for community picnics, school kids learning about fish and farming. No more threats or fines. Folks who used to believe Margaret now buy fish from me every weekend, laughing about the good old days, when the worst drama was a lost fishing pole or a flat tire on the gravel road. Margaret. She's gone, her daughter facing federal charges for real estate fraud, her reputation shot. But wouldn't you know, just when things settle, Eddie calls. Margaret's sister, Patricia, is running the same scam 30 miles away. That's the thing about these HOA bullies. They move on, but the playbook stays the same. Sometimes the best victory isn't just winning your own battle, but teaching the next guy how to spot a con before it's too late. So yeah, sometimes the quietest person in the room turns out to be the one you really need to watch. Margaret Whitmore learned that the hard way. And if you stuck with me this far, tell me, what would you have done? Ever gone toe-to-toe with a bully hiding behind a clipboard? Drop your story in the comments hit. Like if you believe in standing up for what's right, and share this with a neighbor who needs a laugh. Around here, justice might move slow, but man, when it lands hard.